Hello and welcome to Babylon Game Starter. As today we follow up on our Netlify deployment with feature release. How do we do it? What is it? Well, that's what we're about today. So let's go ahead and start off by realizing that we're building on what we've done from the last episode. Okay, so if you haven't already done so, go ahead and go to that last episode and get a static deployment or get any deployment will be fine over to Netlify. You can have it set up to use the backend default if you would like to have multiplayer as well. But here I am at Netlify, and provided that you've gone through that video, we're going to go ahead and look at a project on Netlify, and we're going to go to the project overview, and then we're going to go down to we're going to get some more information about the project essentially. So if we click on deploys, we can look at the deploy settings, for example. And this is a very good thing over here, actually. Lock to stop auto publishing. This is really good to consider, especially if you want to reduce the use of your free actions and you just don't want to waste energy mindlessly. Okay, so if you click lock to stop auto publishing, we can see if you lock that, it will stop. New deploys will still build but not publish until you unlock the publish deploy. So that's different than builds. So auto publishing should be distinguished from builds. And what do I mean by that? If we go to deploy settings and we go down to build and deploy, we can see, for example, the production branch that I'm using, I call Netlify deployment. So currently, I have it set off that I don't deploy pull requests. So that is not the default. By default, Netlify will rebuild based upon your pull request to this branch, whatever you're using. So if you want to turn this off, you can configure that and turn it off. That's what I like to do. That way, again, I am reducing the use of resources. So I choose to turn this off by saying, okay, don't deploy this whenever I do pull requests to Netlify deployment. So I'm actually going to go back now to Netlify deployment and we will pick it up from there. So how do I switch the branch? Up here in GitHub, if you click over on the left, I'm currently on main branch, but I can go down to Netlify deployment branch. Now I'm on Netlify deployment, and I'm going to use this for this example. And what we're going to do is go down into a file that I've made available called feature release. And I've provided some code right here. We're just going to grab that code by clicking here and copying that code. And we're going to deploy this example feature called Rainbow Bright. And we're going to do so using a similar way that we did before. We're going to go into github.dev on that same branch. Notice I'm on that same branch that was being referred to at the Netlify. So you can see it down here in the bottom, Netlify deployment. So I want to branch off of that. I'm going to create a new branch off of that. I'm going to call it ND for Netlify deployment. I'm going to call it feature. And I'm going to put new. And then sometimes you can put the date. I'll just leave this one as new 1. And I will switch to that branch. Again, I branched off of the branch that I am referring to at Netlify. So the basis for this branch is the branch that's referred to over here at Netlify. If you recall, that's what was listed down here as the production branch. So I branched off of Netlify deployment, and I created a new branch called ND feature new 1. And in this branch, I'm going to go to the source, client, config, assets, TS, and I am going to go down and specifically target the monochrome environment. So if I just scroll down far enough here, I will get to the monochrome environment. And there it is. And if I go to the end of line 624, I'm going to put a comma there, hit return, paste in the code that I had copied, and then I will just proceed to tab it in to make it look good. And now we're good. What does this do? This is adding a particular model in the world, but we're going to make a little modification here as well. We're going to not just take it exactly at face value. We are going to do a little change here. And if we look at the spawn point is at 1.5 to 0. So that's very important to note. So if I want this to be like in front of my character, I want to put this position at like 1.5. That would put it like aligned along the x-axis with the spawn. And then if I want it to be in front of my character, I should actually put it in the negative z direction. So I'm going to change a couple of those coordinate values for the positioning of the instance of this rainbow bright model to be positioned in front of the spawn point. Okay, so that is important to call out, that we want to be mindful. We don't want to get in the habit of just blindly copying and pasting. We want to take the time out to think, hey, what's going on here exactly? All right, so there we have our change. Let's go ahead to the tab on the left for the kind of get changes, and let's go ahead and call this Rainbow Bright. And let's go ahead and stage that change by clicking the plus button, and commit and push it by clicking that button. And once we've done that, we are good to go ahead and go back to github.com, and we will do what's called a pull request. So we're going to go back and change it to github.com now that we've done that. And we can see now we have this ND feature new 1 had recent pushes. So we can click compare and pull request. Make sure I'm clicking the right one because I did this earlier as well. So ND feature new 1 has recent pushes 18 seconds ago. So I'm going to compare and pull request. And I need to target the branch that I branched off of. So I'm going to go to my Netlify deployment branch. That's what I branched off of. Now I am actually targeting the correct branch, and that's able to merge, no problem. I'm just going to put a little smiley face right here. I'm going to put myself as the assignee. I'm going to go ahead and look at the diff down here. Is what changed exactly what I expected? Yes, that's all that I expected to have changed. So I'm going to say create a pull request. Let that go through and click merge the pull request, confirm the merge, and I can actually delete that branch. I don't need that branch any longer. That was just serving the purpose of making this kind of feature process release process happen smoothly and in a nice kind of accountability friendly fashion. So we're going to go back to Netlify now, and at Netlify I can go and manually trigger a deployment. So if I go over here to deploys, I can manually trigger a deployment. Over here we can see we got ND feature new 1 right there firing up now. So it's building, and we can see it should be kind of happening pretty quickly because this is not building the back end. And there we have it. It's built, all completed. You can read those logs if you wish. I'm going to open it and we'll see what we got. And I'm going to refresh it again so I actually don't have that character looking like that. Okay, perfectly good. And let's go ahead and switch to the monochrome environment. And look what we get. Exactly what we expected. We expected it to be right in front of us. We got our nice character, and we have our character looking at that nice rainbow bright as we designed. So this is kind of completing that iteration loop. That first kind of loop is the most important because it gets you familiar with the process. Now you, along with other people, can collaborate, work together to improve your game. And this is essentially the process. You continue through this iterative development process as your releases continue to enhance your product. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day.